Hello. Welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 256. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. This is a tutor talk episode. I don't know why every time we finally get to me, my mouth is just like heavy and glued shut.
You forgot your name.
No, my mouth was just heavy. So I just said whatever. This is Sam. This is a talk episode where the tutors talk. Oh my goodness.
It is 9:05 p.m.
Yep.
We're podcasting on Tuesday.
Yep.
I'm sleepy.
Yep.
And we're drinking hot cocoa.
Mm-hmm. I just want to take a nap.
Little does Sam know, this was on my list today. So that's why we're up here.
When I asked if we could move this until like Thursday and you said no, I said it's on his list. I knew once you said no to doing it Thursday, I knew it was on your list for today. I knew it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Sam and I were talking as the podcast was getting fired up. When the fuck did cars become so goddamn expensive to fix?
Dude, right? Here's like our perspective of things. I got my, a 1994 Honda Accord for $700. And I got that my freshman year of college, so 2011. I sold that when we started dating.
Yep.
No, I got it my sophomore year of college, 2012. Still, though, I sold that when we started dating, so that was 5 years. Because we started dating in 2017.
Yeah.
And we actually sold in 2018.
Right.
So 6 years. I had that car for $700, and we sold it for $500.
Mm-hmm. And
everything that we ever needed to fix on it was so cheap.
Dude, I honestly think about that, and my diesel makes me want to kill myself. But
diesels are naturally more expensive, though.
Right. Oh, for sure. It's just like even my car, dude. Even my car. Why the fuck is that so expensive?
Right.
Everything's so fucking expensive, dude. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I
think, car manufacturers purposely have done it because look at my mom's Malibu, where it literally takes an hour just to change out a headlight. And that, it's actually been proven.
It does not fucking take an hour. It takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's a fucking shit show.
Yeah. And it's been proven that their, whole, wiring is faulty to make them burn out faster.
Right.
Because literally, I've had to change out one headlight the entire time we had the 4Runner, which was 2 years-ish.
Yeah.
We've had to change out my mom's headlights 8 times in the same span.
Right.
It is ridiculous. Maybe in 3 years, but still.
Yeah, I just sit here and I think I spend too much time thinking about this. I upkeep, right? And this is the same thing with rental properties, and it's the same thing with your house and all that shit that people aren't thinking about, that people aren't accounting for when they buy a house, when they're buying rental shit like that. The upkeep. Mm-hmm. Now, I think it's different, and let me explain this. The older the house, typically the more upkeep you need.
Yeah.
Okay. The older the rental, the more upkeep you need. The newer the car, the more upkeep you need.
Oh my god, yeah.
The older the car, the cheaper it is to fucking maintain, upkeep, all that shit. Dude, think if we were driving around 2000, the year 2000 Honda Civics. Mm-hmm. Bruh.
Yeah.
35 MPGs. Maintenance is nothing. You can fix every single thing yourself with ease. Mm-hmm. It's just, dude, it's these new cars and shit that are newer cars, newer vehicles that have so much shit everywhere, jam-packed everywhere.
The sensors, all the wiring.
Everything. It's so hard to work on. It's so hard to do anything with. Before, Kyle and I did everything to our vehicles. Mm-hmm. And now the newer the vehicles get, the harder it becomes to do the work on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember, like, when we started dating, you changed my brakes for me on the Honda Accord. Because it didn't take long.
No.
But then we tried to do it. You tried changing brakes on some of our newer cars, and you had to stop doing it because it was such a shit show every fucking time.
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. And it doesn't help that I'm always switching new cars. So if I were to just get a car and understand it and then just, like, do that, it wouldn't be a big deal. But every time I'd have to learn, like, the new fucking shit with it, you know?
Wasn't there one that it was, like, a whole fucking process? Like, you had to take the whole, like, hub off and everything or some shit?
There was one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But if I remember correctly, it was not a new car. It was like...
Wasn't it the Spectra or something stupid?
It might have been.
Yeah.
It was like mid 2000s, like a 08-ish, 10-ish.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm out, dude. I sold the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. There's a lot of shit like that it's like, there's just, the maintenance on them is what's going to fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can buy something and then you're just a maintenance hog.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you buy right and have your maintenance low, I mean, that's why Tundras and shit are so good. And Tacomas, 4Runners, all that shit.
Yeah.
They're so good because the maintenance, sure, you pay maybe a little premium up front, but your maintenance bill is a quarter.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think of how old my other 4Runner was.
Mm-hmm.
It was in 08? Oh, I always got it wrong.
05.
05. And the only things we really had to do to it ever was oil changes. I think we had to get the brakes changed once. And the tires, maybe? I think we put on new tires.
Might have been that, yeah.
And I think that was it. Besides, like, the frame rotting out. But, like...
Right.
That has to do with being up north.
No, it was the manufacturers. They didn't undercoat those years.
Mm-hmm.
So...
yeah, and so that's why we just upgraded the 4Runner because we knew going into it wasn't going to need any weird shit.
Well, in theory, it won't, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only thing we have with it right now is the tire sensors.
Yeah.
But...
I got that with my truck, too.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, dude. Everything is so fucking expensive to fix.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But, I mean, houses are, too, right? So, because I was thinking about that today. I was like, man... I was like, God, I should have, like, become a mechanic, been able to work on all my vehicles. And I was like, ooh, houses are more expensive to work on those. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a...
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, even with this house, right? Like, we redid a good chunk of it.
Right.
So, in theory, you would think, like, the maintenance bill on it would be a lot less now that we've redone a whole bunch of stuff. Well, like, we didn't put in new windows, so we have some of the windows plastic wrapped. We, didn't obviously fix all, like, the weird drywall shit.
Right.
Which, that's just aesthetic. But, like, this summer we had the pipe burst. It didn't burst. The outside faucet, it just pours water into the basement. Mm. So, like, that's something we could probably fix down the road, but that's going to not be cheap to fix. Because you probably have to tear that drywall out and see why it's leaking inside.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Luckily that's something that doesn't have to be fixed, which
right.
is good. But yeah, like, because this house is older, we'll probably always have little things like that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Last year we had ants coming into the basement because it's a sandstone foundation. So they can just burrow in.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fun shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a good answer. I know, though, if you're smart about it, you can very much alleviate a lot of your maintenance, a lot of your shit, but you're not going to have as nice of a ride. Like, you're not going to have as comfy of a ride and shit like that, you know? Yeah. You're not going to have as safe of a car, all that shit you won't get.
Yeah. I did see a video. You probably don't know a whole lot of all this. There's a lot of videos going around of, like, things you should do, like, at least once a year, like, around your house. Mm. So, like, one guy talked about, like, going around your house and making sure, like, on the outside that your windows are all caulked around the edges. To, like, make sure there's no cracks in it and to, like, re-caulk any cracks. And even, like, is there caulk in siding, too? Do you have to?
Depending on the type of siding, yes.
Okay. So making sure that's all good. And then, like, I've seen a lot of people talk about draining their water heaters. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, they say once a year you should drain your water heater.
Why?
Because there's, like, a lot of, like, sediment and, like, debris and stuff that comes in from, obviously, the city water. And so it all just settles at the bottom of it. And they said, so if you empty it, it can help your water heater last another while, actually.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's obviously, like, certain steps and stuff you have to do it properly.
Right.
But I was kind of shocked by that. I was like, it'd be interesting to, like, talk to, like, a plumber. Oh, we could talk to Matt and see what he says.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dude, that was the same thing with, like, I had some of my wells looked at, and the driller, the well guy was out there, and he's just like, every year, twice a year, you should check your tanks for pressure. And there was a couple other things he told me I should check. And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm out here right now for a reason. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, if you want to prevent me from having to come out here, do these things. And I was like, fuck.
Interesting.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't really give you, like, ownership manuals.
Well, another thing is, if you turn off your tanks, if you turn off your well and check the pressure, you're supposed to have a certified well guy turn it back on. It's something like that. It's something where I was like, he's telling me what I should do, but I was like, technically I can't do that. And he's like, technically, no, you can't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So wait, the switch that's in the hallway of the office, is that the actual switch for the well pump? No. Okay.
Well, yeah, it is.
That's a dumb place to put that switch. Why? Do you know how many times when I come up those steps, I switch that one off? Yeah.
Truth that.
Yeah, we need to put, like, a box around that thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Something.
Uh-huh.
Or a different color plate or something. I don't know. That's funny. Good point.
Mm. So, just for context, literally you come up the steps, and there's one light switch right at the top of the steps, which is the well pump. And then it's just, like, a little, like, 5 feet of landing until you get the door. And then there's the actual light switch for the basement.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, very shoddily written in half-gone Sharpie.
Yep.
And I'm just, every time I see it, I think it's actually a silver plate already. I think it's a different color plate. But I still want to switch it off. Because it's just right there. Anyways. That's fun. Yeah, houses and cars, they're bundles of joy. Bundles of joy. This is why, like, renting is actually good for a lot of people.
All right. I'm going to go down 2 roads.
Okay.
You're going to follow me.
Yes.
And then I want to tackle a 3rd road.
Okay. And then we're done with this podcast.
And we're going to see if I can remember all of it as I go.
Okay.
So, PBD podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Mortgages.
Yes.
Are up 90% since JB took office from Trump, the man. So, in 3 years, he's managed to increase mortgage rates, the average mortgage rate, by 90%.
Wild.
There's only 3 metro areas in the United States where it's cheaper to buy than rent. That is based off of just mortgages, not including property tax and insurance either. That's strictly just your PMI,
okay.
principal interest.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Am I supposed to guess? Oh, no.
Pittsburgh. Maybe Jacksonville. One other one. Not important. Anyways, overall, it is way cheaper to rent when you it's cheaper to rent just based on rent amount compared to just your mortgage, your principal and interest. However, when you add in property tax, you add in your insurance, you add in your upkeep and maintenance, it is fucking way cheaper to rent. Way, way cheaper to rent. You and I have talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, we have.
Because we've talked about if we took 20% or took 25% of our income, because you're supposed to allot like 25% of your income to rent or to whatever, we could live in a sick ass pad for 25% of our income.
Yeah, we could.
So going off what you were saying, it is way cheaper to rent than it is to own. Piggybacking off of that, Mike and I today were chatting about communal living. And so how other cultures, certain Asian cultures, Hmongs, certain Latino cultures, Mexicans, they will have multiple people residing in a home, multiple generations residing in a home, right? So you look at it kind of like this. In the U.S., we think there's something fucking great and grand about the American dream, about going it your own, living yourself. Well, guys, how is that fucking working for us? Have we looked at the rest of the world? I don't think we're the fucking smart ones. I think we're the fucking idiots, dude.
Yep.
Here's why. If you've got 2 or 3 families in a house, paying for your mortgage, helping take care of the kids, helping cook and clean, sharing vehicles, sharing shit. Like, how much more can you have if everybody's pitching in? Here's what I mean. And we've talked about this before at fucking wit's end, because I've talked about if you could get a community of 30 people to live together in a fucking, if you could go buy 150 acres, 160 acres, because it's in 40 parcels. So if you go buy 160 acres with 30 people, you get to split everything. You're splitting your property taxes. You're splitting your insurance, splitting your mortgage. You can have some nice cars. You can have some shitty cars. You only need a set of, like, if you work on cars and shit, like you fix your own cars, you only need one toolbox.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Right? How much money did we just save there by having one toolbox?
Yeah.
How about this? For all the guys out there that do DIY projects, how many motherfuckers got a chop saw in their garage? How many motherfuckers got, like, multiple drills and all this shit, right? Okay, what if there's 3 guys living in a house together? 3 guys living in a house together.
Split the cost.
You only need one fucking chop saw still. Like, dude, there's so many things. If you go down that route, like, okay, let's get a generator. Okay, well, why don't we all pitch in then and get one nice propane-operated generator instead of fucking each getting shitty gas ones? There's so many things, dude. If people could just fucking open their goddamn minds and fucking work together, but we can't do. We're too goddamn selfish. If we could just fucking work together, quit being like, oh, the American dream. Oh, we need to go on alone. And we could be like, hey, we're family. Or we're really close friends. Let's fucking crush this world together. What could you have, dude? Why don't you get... I'm just going to say it like this. The average household income for a couple is like $78,000, right? Realistic, most people we know, let's just say 120,000. Okay, let's just say your couple, two people bringing in 120,000. Okay, how big of a house could you have if you had 3 couples bringing in 360 grand into one house?
So what they say, a third of your wages?
So you can, well, 25% is like safe. So 360 divided by 12 times 0.25. So you'd be at 7,500. So before interest rates went whack, that's $1 million home.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking properties in Eau Claire were there for $1 million?
Dude,
some big motherfucking mansions.
Yeah, there's that big mansion down by the lake, remember? Or the river?
Yeah. So let's think about it this way. Is there enough room to have 3 families in there?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And not even, like, probably see each other if you don't want.
You can all have your own wing.
Yeah.
You can all have your own shit, dude. And so you're all splitting that, right? Well, hey, why don't we also split a work truck? We only need one truck then.
Yeah.
Then we can, like, all drive a couple beater cars.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just have, like, regular whatever cars. But, hey, since we got all this money pooling together, why don't we buy a couple classic cars?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we buy one nice Ferrari? We can afford it.
Yeah.
Let's just get one used Ferrari for 150 grand.
Yeah.
We can afford it. There's so many things that, like, we are not thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And we're because we want to do what, like, we've gotten so programmed. We've let everybody influence our decisions. And so now we're incapable of looking outside of the box. Or when we look outside of the box, we're afraid of getting judged. We're not willing to, like, bring on new opinions because it wasn't what we were raised with. Like, shit sounds crazy, right? Like, doomsday prepping. Crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh, how fucking crazy is it when every goddamn movie that's made is about fucking the world ending, dude, yeah. Right? So it's like, if we just go down this and just keep going, how awful would it be to have your grandma live on the same property as you and help out with the kids, teach you shit, teach the ladies shit on how to fucking
make bread,
can foods, grow a garden. Wow, sounds like a real fucking dumb idea to have grandma living with, helping raise the kids and teaching the next generation all the things she knows, right? But for some motherfucking reason, we think it's stupid in the U.S. How come it's the fucking U.S. and you look around at a bunch of other fucking countries, a bunch of other cultures, and they're like, yeah, we got grandma, we got 3 generations in a house. How much more do you think?
And they're, like, elderly actually get taken care of.
That's because they're in the house with the kids that can take care of them. So how many of those people are learning things right now, getting passed down from generation to generation about like different ways of cooking, preserving foods, canning, sewing, like sewing's a lost art. So many things like that. How many of those things in other countries are getting passed down and those people are going to learn, and us in the U.S., we're not going to have any of it. None of it.
Nope.
Because we're living the American dream.
It's also interesting, too, because we don't like to ask for help either.
It's stupid.
Right? Like, we have to do everything on our own. We can't ask for help. We can't, like, receive help. Like, we need to do it ourselves to prove we can do it. And it's just, like, most countries, especially, like, European countries, when you have a kid, they, like, send a, like, nanny or helper or something, I think to come, like, once or twice a week for the first, like, couple months. And they can, like, they're usually there to, like, help do chores around the house, to, like, do laundry, do dishes, whatever you can't keep up. Because having a kid is really fucking hard.
Right.
So they, like, just give you someone to help you out because you need it. You don't have to ask for it. They just give it to you. And it's just, like, people here don't even, like, want to ask for help.
No.
They don't want to say how hard it is. We all have to, like, we all act like we're so strong and independent and all this shit. And it's just, No. We all know it's hard. We all know it sucks.
Right.
So let's band together and do it right. Do it better.
Well, I think maybe that used to happen more in the U.S. I think it used to happen more, but we're getting so far away from that. Mm-hmm. So the kid thing is huge, right?
Yeah.
But just think of it like getting together to help someone replace their roof on their house.
Yeah.
Like
all my dad's side of the family got together to replace my parents' roof.
Right.
And that's what they did for like everything for everyone. They all, like, if someone needed new siding, they all came together and put siding up. My uncle built a chicken coop, and I believe like a whole bunch of them came together and helped. They would all butcher chickens together every year.
All it takes is one person to know, and everyone else can just help. Mm-hmm. And when you look at a whole family, there's typically someone in the know in almost everything, right?
Yeah.
And so, or if there isn't, maybe that's the field you go into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in the family and maybe the family's lacking a carpenter, but there's a plumber, there's someone that fucking knows how to butcher, there's someone that knows how to fucking, I don't even know what else, any skill, right?
I mean, like medicine, baking.
Medicine. Oh, yeah. Medicine's phenomenal. A nurse, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. When you look at that way, then you're adding to the community. Mm-hmm. By going and getting a skill, you're adding to your little community. And how much better is your community going to be when you have a full circle community, everyone helping each other out?
Oh, yeah, so much better.
But, I mean, another big thing is people will chase 30 grand, 50 grand. They will move away from family, away from friends. They'll completely relocate in a different state to make an extra 20 grand.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Now you've got no one to help you. And you're living on your own. Mm-hmm. No support system. Well, how much more are you spending now on that 20 grand? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like now you don't have someone to help you work on your car. You don't got someone to help you work on the house. You don't have anyone to help babysit the kids.
Yeah.
You know, so when you start adding all that shit up, it's like, oh yeah, I'm making 20 grand more, but I just spent 40 grand extra for all these other things.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, personally, I didn't want to like keep living in Ashland. It wasn't quite big enough for like my goals and endeavors and like my dreams in life and shit. So exited that. But I didn't have, like, you don't have to go so far away that you can't get help or, you know, or like separate from everyone and stuff.
Yeah, because, I mean, you had car troubles and your parents would come down if you needed their help.
Right.
They come down from Ashland to haul your car one time.
I know. And it broke down fucking 2.5 hours east of here. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they aren't. I mean, Ashland's not that far where they can't come and help.
Right.
Yeah. What's your third route? Did you forget? Oh, no.
Did I forget?
I'm just curious.
There's a new movie that came out.
Ugh. I can't watch it.
Leave the World Behind.
I can't watch it.
Executive producers. Michelle and Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. Very neat film.
What was with the animals?
I don't know. I still haven't figured it out.
Oh, okay, cool.
There was like conflicting articles trying to say like it's showing the animals now have the upper hand.
Oh, okay.
So are like essentially they're taunting the humans like now we are more powerful than you. Really weird.
But they wouldn't be still.
I know. That's why I didn't understand it.
Okay.
The other thing would be that they are trying to warn the humans that something is coming. Mm-hmm. I don't get either of those things.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
When we were talking to someone about it, who were we talking to about it? I don't know. Someone said, like, it's weird what they do with the animals or something. Or, like, pay attention to what they do with the animals. Brooke hasn't watched it.
I know Stefan said he didn't understand the deer thing. Kayla.
Yes.
So anyways, this book was written in 2020, and Obama thought that, or loved the series.
Yeah, loved the book. Yeah.
Loved the book. And so he wanted to be an executive producer so that he could make sure they stayed as true to the storyline as possible.
Yep.
But along with staying true to the storyline, he also wanted to make sure that it was realistic and could...
it could make you feel like it would happen in reality.
Yeah. He wanted to be accurate to where this could actually happen in reality. He didn't want it like sci-fi fake. Like, he wanted it to make the movie so that this actually could happen tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And that's how they made the movie. Mm-hmm. And there's 3 stages. The first stage...
Is this ruining the movie at all?
I don't give a fuck. Turn off the podcast.
Okay.
There's 3 stages. Mm-hmm. The first stage, to getting the world to getting the U.S. or like the world to fail. The first stage is isolation. So they did cyber attack, and they cut out all forms of communication. Boom, isolation, right?
Mm-hmm. Did they get rid of electricity or just like Wi-Fi?
Just Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Electricity was dumb. Second thing they did was, I can't remember the term, but it was like controlled acts of violence with no one to blame. Okay, so everyone's like freaking out and concerned. So in the case for the movie, it was like really high-pitched sounds, which was like the, we were looking it up. It said like microwave. It's like the power of a microwave or whatever.
Okay, like the frequencies?
The frequency of a microwave or whatever. And so it's super loud, and it makes you like your body like shut down, die, teeth fall out, fucking bleed like internally and shit, right? So, and then the third stage, so now you're isolated. Now you're like freaking out because you're getting attacked from who knows where, right?
Yeah.
Third stage is civil war. And that happens on its own. So the first two things, they have to cause. Mm-hmm. They have to cause the isolation, and they have to cause the like, the collaborated attack or whatever, right? And the third happens on its own. Civil war happens on its own, which falls right in line with the book I'm reading, Red Rising. Mm-hmm. And it goes to the book. The book's really good. Without giving away the book, it's there's people that rule the society, the Golds.
Yeah, it's a caste system.
Caste system, yeah.
Yep. So you have like obviously your lower caste all the way up to your middle castes, and
then your high caste. Mm-hmm. So high caste, right?
Oh yeah, did I say middle?
Yeah,
I meant high.
And then so you got your Golds up top, you got your Reds on bottom. Mm-hmm. The Reds are slaves. Mm-hmm. People in between, some of them think they're free and like work for a living, but they're pretty much all just underneath.
They pretty much do what their caste does.
Yep, that's it. So what you realize is you need a governing body. You need a ruler. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't have someone ruling, setting the rules and everything, it turns to straight chaos.
Yeah.
People will turn to straight fucking primal animals. In the book, dude, they just turn to murder, raping, pillaging, torture. Mm-hmm. That was like the first thing they turned to within 2 weeks of being on their own with no one running them. Yeah. 2 fucking weeks.
I mean, look at like the bigger cities where like people get caught and just released again, or like people know you're just gonna get a slap on the wrist. Like people have been stealing packages off of trains, which is a federal offense, and they just get put in jail overnight and released back again. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's why fucking like California is chaos.
Right.
No, yeah, there's no structure, there's no rules, there's no punishments.
Absolutely. So it's just crazy, and that's the same thing with like it turns to civil war because there's nobody running the show and people cannot function without someone ruling them. It's fucked. I legitimately believe that connects us all back towards fucking community, like I was saying before.
Yeah.
People are just so against just like I think people are afraid of falling into like a community setting. But if people allow it, how much better it would be for everyone.
You know what's so interesting too is how many people we know. Not that we know. I shouldn't say that we know. How many people like that we've heard say, like not just in person, but like online. You always hear people say this, like how they don't want to work for someone. They want to be their own person. And it's just so weird because so many people can't, like you said, can't function without structure, without rules, without guidance. And like, I don't think as people, like we realize like we need that to not be in chaos. So like, right, let's go with you. You're an entrepreneur. You don't have really anyone above you. But you know there's still like rules and things you have to do in order to get the job done.
Right.
You can realize that. There's no one that's, going to enforce those rules, but you enforce them yourselves. Someone who has just been a cashier for 30 years and doesn't strive to do better or anything, you couldn't put them in your role because they would just be like, oh, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. I don't need to do anything. She's like, no, there's rules. There's things you have to do to play the game. And if you can't govern yourself, like, you're never going to succeed being higher up.
That is so true. And I've seen that a lot. I've seen it a lot with guys. I'm thinking of a couple guys in particular that joined, that became contractors, their own contractors. They would work a lot, 40, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. They become in control themselves, drop down to 25, 30 hours a week. Because they do not have somebody regulating them. They don't have someone governing them. So they're just like, so they drop down to that kind of hours. They're not doing the back end. They're not keeping up with all the back end bullshit you got to do too. They're not like,
they're not upholding their standard.
They're not upholding a standard. Nothing. None of that, dude. They become lazy. They change their habits to be lazier. And it just goes down. And so 2 years ago, I thought more people need to be self-employed. Because 250 years ago, it's like 85% of the population was self-employed 250 years ago. The problem is we have been so trained by society that we no longer know how to fucking function on our own. There's also so many rules now. So many rules, so much tax, so many other fucking things that you have to do. You got a phone now on you at all times, so your business never leaves you. There are so many things in today's society where I think you should not. I try to talk everybody I know out of opening a business.
100%.
Because you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. And people just fucking, with social media, they see the fucking influencers, the entrepreneurs, all this shit. It's a small percentage. And there's so many fucking things you have to know and you have to learn if you want to be self-employed. Even just self-employed. Paying your own taxes, getting insurance, making sure what you're doing is like correct, getting the right, depending on what you're doing, getting the right licenses, the right permits, all that shit, continuing your education, billing, receivables, paying bills, 1099s,
so much shit,
all that shit, just so you can be self-employed. The amount of fucking back end shit to that. This is not like today's world. This is not for the faint of heart.
No.
Even being self-employed, dude, is like a fucking big undertaking.
Yeah, you're not free. I would say you're way less free.
if you're self-employed, dude, you are the farthest thing from free, period. You are way more free if you have a fucking job.
Like, think about it. For Gold Star, I get to go to work at 7. I can leave at 3:30 if I want.
And you don't have to think about work until tomorrow at 7.
Correct.
And you have a few weeks vacation. You got good health care. You got benefits.
Like, I could just be living the fucking dream working there. Because it doesn't come home with me. It doesn't follow me everywhere.
Well, dude, and I know multiple guys in the blue collar realm that go to work for 40 or 50 hours a week. It's usually structured, especially union guys, right?
Yeah.
They'll go to work 40, 50 hours a week. That's it. They come home. They make good money. They have phenomenal benefits. And that's it, dude. They go home. They don't have to think about shit.
Like today, I left my regular job early. I do on Tuesdays. I do half days on Tuesdays so I can do work for our business. Worked there until 5:30. And then Shaun and I just talked more business for the rest of the night.
And now we're here podcasting.
And then now we're here podcasting and also talking about it.
It's...
If you want to, a really harsh representation of, owning your own business, listen to Andy Frisella.
Oh, beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
he describes it the best way. Literally, it's a lot of losing. It's a lot of meh. 2% winning. 2% of the time you feel good about it.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. But yeah, people just need structure. Like you said, the education system has fucked us. I went to school with people that when they graduated college, that was the first time they didn't have structure. It was the first time they didn't have someone telling them what they should do next. And some of them freaked. Some of them are on anxiety meds now because of it.
Fuck yeah.
Because they didn't know what to do. No one told, then there wasn't someone telling you what you need to do next. So then they had to figure it out on their own. And most of them, it worked out fine. But still, it took a lot of hard work to, get to a good place for them.
I think there's something to say about farming.
Dude, yeah, that builds good characteristics.
So, I've met and chatted with quite a bit of Amish folk. And recently, the other day, I was at a Mennonite place. This kid, price, hard to judge, 16 and 19. The motherfucker's outside working. I hand him my paperwork to get some lumber. Dude's fucking hands are twice the size of mine, and he's only 2 inches taller than me.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, God damn. Dude's just out cruising around, grabbing shit, no big deal. And you could tell he's just built. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, manual labor, growing up eating quality food. So you're growing up working, you're growing up eating quality food. You got some fucking men out there. And then you got all of us little bitches, dude, that fucking grew up eating Hamburger Helper.
Yep.
Grew up fucking eating McDonald's and deep fried every fucking thing. And we have to do shit just to try. I gotta fucking, lifting all the time and shit. Just to try to be as strong or as fit as the fucking dudes out there just working. And guess what? I ain't getting there.
No.
I ain't reaching that shit.
No. We just talked too about how people in other countries, obviously not third world countries, other first world countries, they don't have to think about what food they get from the grocery store. Because their governments actually do a good job of regulating what gets into food. So because we've talked about before, when we go to Europe, we can have beer, pasta, all that shit. We feel great. Here we can't.
No.
And we're not the only ones. A lot of people feel that way. And they can just go to their grocery store and get real fucking food.
we listened to that podcast. I don't remember what podcast it was anymore, but a lady called in, and she's like, I'm from it might have been Guatemala. Oh man, I knew the country. Anyways, we're gonna go with Guatemala. She moved to the U.S. on a visa, and she's been eating the same food, like the same type of food she ate down there. She's like,
Colombia.
Was it?
I don't know.
No.
Anyways.
It's Southern America.
Yeah.
Starts with a G.
It's probably Guatemala then.
It could be. She said she was like breaking out in rashes, had gained 20 pounds, doesn't feel good. Like, she's like, I don't know, like, what's wrong with me? I'm eating the same stuff I've always ate. And they're like, nah, you might be eating the same food, but you're not eating the same food. Because they're like, you're now eating Americanized food, which is causing all of your issues. And she's like, why do people live here?
Thank you.
It's fucked, dude. It's fucked what they they do to us, and it's all intentional.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's intentional.
They're trying to make us fat and lazy so then we can't fight back.
Destroy the fucking country from the inside out, and make the people at the top uber rich, and we're just here getting fucked.
Do you know who owns eBay?
No.
Either do I. I was talking about it at work.
It's random.
Kind of, not really.
Okay.
We all know Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon.
Oh, good point.
And I fucking hate Amazon. Amazon's a shitty ass company to work with.
Okay. Did you look up who owns eBay?
No. eBay is a super awesome company to work with. A lot of times, like, they not vest. They back their sellers quite often, which is really nice. So like, and they do like back their buyers. So there will be times where they'll refund us our money and they'll refund the buyer their money too. And like me and a coworker were talking about like how do they make any money? And they do have obviously selling fees and stuff like that. But we're just like, it's such a nice. They care more about their sellers than Amazon does. Amazon doesn't give two fucks about their sellers.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Pierre Omidyar was the founder.
Okay.
He owns a big share, but it is a publicly traded company. The largest shareholders are State Street,
Okay.
Vanguard,
Okay.
and BlackRock.
Interesting.
And he still holds a massive chunk, but they are the biggest players.
Does he run it? Is he the CEO? Or no?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that like that company is actually way better ran, I would say. And you don't know who the owner is. Like it's not well known who the owner is.
Jamie Lennon.
Oh, okay.
Is the president and chief executive officer of eBay Inc.
Interesting. I know I guess eBay did do some shitty things with their call centers, but that's besides the point.
Interesting.
Yeah, eBay, because my sister worked for eBay for a little bit. Because it was a call center called something, I don't remember. And then eBay bought it. And if you worked for eBay for like 10 years, you got like this huge like sabbatical, I think it was, like a 30-day sabbatical.
Oh, interesting.
They sold before anyone made it to their 10-year. At least like
Ouch.
that calling center place.
Ouch.
I was like, damn, dude, that's cold. But either way, they're better to us than Amazon.
Either way. All right, cool. That's it, babe.
Yeah,
Time
I'm
to wrap
tired.
up.
It's bedtime.
All right, gang. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll catch you next time.
See ya.